You're listening to Live and On Board with Tony Milazzo.
This is Tony Milazzo, and we are live and on board with Bernadette Pauley. Bernadette, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Tony.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming out here to Marina del Rey Harbor and getting on the boat.
Can I just tell you, I drove up. You told me where to go. I pulled over, and then we walked down the dock, and we walked onto the boat, and I'm coming down the stairs, and I said, this is where Tony hangs me upside down by the ceiling, cuts my throat, drains all the blood out of my body, and it's my own damn fault. It's just like a CSI Miami episode.
It is kind of strange, right? I tell you, come out here to the harbor, we're going to do an interview, get on a boat.
But thanks for not doing it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're actually the first person to admit that. I'm sure it crossed a few people's minds, but you're the first person to actually admit to it. So
yeah, I always assume wherever I go, it's a trap, or wherever I go. Every night you walk into a comedy club, I'm like, who's gonna do it this time? Who's going to try to bring me down? So this was no different than any other working night for me.
Is that an East Coast thing?
I think so. That's our normal way.
Yeah, me too. I'm very East Coast. I want to know where the exits are.
Yes.
No back to the door.
Yes.
I need an escape hatch. I need to know how I'm getting out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Survival.
But,
once you get there, you sit back. I'm on the boat. It's beautiful now. You're like, hey, que sera, sera. Whatever happens, happens.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we're going to get her out for a cruise. I know we will. So let's start there. Let's start with boating. Have you done boating?
I have not done a lot of boating. My grandfather was a fisherman.
Hmm.
Yes. I was born and raised in Revere, just on the edge of Boston. And he was a fisherman, and he passed away when I was very young, but I've heard many stories. And I had a cousin who moved far away from Boston, we thought it was, in Gloucester. So there were a lot of fishermen there. And I've been on some small boats here and there when I was growing up. But the last few years, I work Nantucket Comedy Festival. So there's always a lovely person who will take us out on a big yacht and show the comedians around and keep us as pets and such.
Oh,
so
nice.
The little bit I've done, I love.
I want to be a pet.
Yeah. I'll get you in on that.
I need to do the Nantucket circuit.
Yeah,
huh?
we'll work on that.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
It's beautiful, though. It's really great. I never want to go boating. I'm always like, I don't have time. Nothing fun. I don't have time. Am I getting paid for it? But once you drag me out there, I'm like, oh, I'll stay here for 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of how I operate.
So you find it hard to relax? Take time off?
Yeah, I'm working on it. But yeah.
You should, because it's a balance. It really helps us with our career and writing and stage if we take some time for ourselves. Otherwise, just always on the go. And
yeah, people always told me that, and I thought they were being fruity. But I do see, I understand the validity in that, and I know life is short. And also being out here on the West Coast, there is more downtime.
yeah.
So you can be constructive and you can enjoy it, or you can just, stare at the ceiling all day. So
Exactly. Yeah, you can't let this beautiful weather and, I guess geographically, being on the coastline here on the west side is just incredible. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
Coastline's
You're so
gorgeous.
lucky to be, this is beautiful. We're at Marina del Rey Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove by a Costco on the way here, like 5 minutes away. You have the best of all possible worlds.
That's all you need is Costco and a boat.
Yeah, this is America, baby. Do you need an assistant?
Sure. I was going to ask you the same thing. Do you need an assistant? I like to follow you around. I watch your website, and you're all over the place. For those of you who don't know Bernadette, maybe we should go over some of the things she's done. And I know I've seen you on TV several times, way before I even met you.
Was that Cops? Did you see me on Cops a few times?
No. The post office wall. No.
Such a bad picture that one is.
But I've seen you on late night TV, and you've always been very funny. You're a very talented lady. We know you do comedy, and you do the circuit. And why don't you go over some of the TV shows and stuff you've done?
Oh, okay.
Except for Cops.
One of my back in the day, I did Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. That was usually a lot of fun. I had some great episodes on that. I've hosted comedy.tv, which you probably saw on late night. It's running in syndication. It's all over the place. I did a daytime Well, it wasn't actually daytime. I did a daily talk show that was on Logo and also in syndication called The Gossip Queens. And my co-hosts were Lonnie Love, Alec Mappa, and Michelle Collins. 3 really great, very funny, talented people.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. And I think that's kind of it. And then, you see me coming and going on the Today Show or on Red Eye on Fox News, and any place they need a really big mouth or some commentary, you'll see me all over those shows, some VH1 stuff, Animal Planet.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen you on the Today Show. I've seen you on Animal Planet.
Yeah.
I have seen you on Comics Unleashed.
Yes. Oh, yes, Comics Unleashed, too, yeah.
You were great on that.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you.
You were on more than once, I think, too, right?
That one I was only on once.
You were on
Comedy.tv, I did 8 episodes.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you give me a check, I show up, I do it. So, and I did one pilot. I did an acting pilot that I loved for Andy Tennant, who is the director of a bunch of big movies, like Sweet Home Alabama. That was a lot of fun. It was like an $11 million pilot, and it didn't air, and that kind of broke my heart. But it was fun. It was quite an experience.
Yeah.
So
when you see how many things they shoot, they'll shoot 86 pilots or something, and 4 get looked at. Or
it is amazing, and I really thought, okay, this one. I mean, I've done so many pilots that never aired. It's a joke,
Yeah.
but this one, when I saw who was in it and all the amount of money being spent, I was like, okay, $11 million. This baby's gonna air.
Yeah.
Good for me. And I could not believe they just taped it. It was great too. A friend of mine went to a press conference. She's a journalist, so she got to see it. Even though it never aired, loved it. Then, of course, being a TV network, they kind of scrapped it, reshot it in a very hokey OC fashion with, and it was all candy-coated, and then it came out and lasted 6 episodes. But the one that Andy Tennant did, he almost shot the pilot like a movie. It was really cool, really good. Got to work with a lot of great people. But live and learn.
Yeah.
Live and learn. Not going to complain.
They play around with things too much. And then I have a friend working on 1600 Penn, and that's probably not going to be back. I hope it is. But they moved the show and the times every single time.
Yeah.
So it couldn't get an audience. Almost like sabotage. You don't know if they're purposely doing that.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're doing.
I really try not to be negative. I know it's all, for them, it's all about what? Numbers and stats and marketing. And what are those test groups? If one more person talks about a focus group to me, I'm going to barf my head off.
Yeah. And who are these people in a little room that decide they're just, we pick some people, and they decide whether or not shows air or don't, or...
It's funny that you say that. I don't want to be too, because I could go down that road, and I'm trying, being from Boston, I could go down the fuck them all road.
Yeah.
But I won't.
Yeah.
But I'll do it for 2 minutes. I've been going to this gym near my house. I'm not really much of a gym person, but there's this amazing trainer, and she's fierce, and she works people out in the park, like every Saturday for free. She's an animal. I'm slightly afraid of her. Gorgeous. She looks like part ballerina, part gymnast. Stunning. And she's just kicking my ass back into gear, because for a while there I was just on the road and feeling sloppy. And she's so friggin' good at what she does. And you can see in the gym, it's funny, like the corporate people, the corporate structure is like, well, you're going over time in the class. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can see her putting up with bullshit stuff. And she's so good at what she does. If she wanted to, she could just be the trainer to the stars and blah, 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 and charge $400 an hour. But she doesn't. She's fierce. She loves what she does. And she's great. And so many of us go to this gym just to train with her, and you can see the corporate structure does not appreciate that. They're more into putting everything in the little corporate box. You know what I mean? Like, and I think we have that in entertainment too. My point is, sorry, that I get caught up in my own words. I don't know why, but my point is, it's not just our business, because I tend to think it's always these suits that are telling us what is funny or what is interesting, and they wouldn't know funny and interesting if they ran into it.
Exactly.
But it's funny too. I'm from Boston, and there's this show on. Oh my God, what's it called? Wicked Single, and it's a reality TV show that is supposed to take place in Boston. The accents are not real. The people are not real Bostonians, but they're this caricature, and I'm thinking, you know what that is? That is some producer's son went to BU for a semester thinks he's a genius,
Yeah.
saw some Boston people to mimic one day and thought, you know, Daddy's going to give me a show and I'm going to create it. Or I don't know how that thing got on air.
And people
but,
think that reality TV is real. I mean, it's a joke.
I know.
None of it's real.
I know. But I don't know how they get away with it. I guess, because remember back in the day, didn't in the 50s those game shows got in trouble because they were rigged?
Yeah.
We have a lot of competition shows now that I think some of them are rigged, some of them aren't, but somehow they just get away with it.
Yeah. Well, I see everything in the casting calls and the breakdowns.
Yeah.
I see all these shows.
Yeah.
You know, and I show it to people or I copy paste because they don't believe me. They're like, no, they don't cast.
Oh, God,
and I copy
yeah.
paste it into an email for them so
Yeah.
they can, and they're like, you ruined it for me. And they take it out on me.
I know.
You ruined it for me. I
mean,
thought reality was real.
But some of them, like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not, you know, I'm not Miss PBS. I do have an addiction to the housewives. And it's bullshit and crazy, but they picked the right batshit women. The casting. See, it is all about casting in those shows, right? Because those are the real creators. You say, she's legitimately got this brand of crazy. This one's got this brand of crazy. Let's mix it all up. And if there's a murder or a death, we'll pretend we had nothing to do with it, which happens from time to time. But, yeah. So it's all a farce. I'm glad we came to that conclusion. Our business is all a farce, Tony.
Yeah. Now, if someone came to you with a reality show right now, would you do it? Depends on what it is.
Well, I'm actually working with a production company out of New York. And I had what I thought was a very interesting pitch, and they kind of switched it up for various network reasons. You know what? So if it was the right one, I would. But I want nothing to do with... I hosted something that was a pilot, and it was a reality thing, and I was the host, and it was a competition between... the whole concept was people had to teach their spouse how to do what they do. So they took two huge chefs in New York, and they had to teach wives who have never been a chef how to run a whole kitchen and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I hosted that, and that was a lot of fun. But then they, during part of the competition, they wanted me to flirt with the husbands and, like, sit on their lap and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because that's stupid. And that's not me. If I was a character or acting, I would do it. But so I have limits.
Right.
I would like to do something real. And... I've been in the position before where they've wanted me to play, quote-unquote, the bitch, and I don't want to do that. I don't need, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I already am a bitch and a psycho as it is, but I don't need to be your candy so some frat boy can jerk off
bitch.
to what...
That's the whole...
Yeah, thank you. You're very sweet. Can I have $5? Anyway, that was a long-winded excuse. I would take certain opportunities, because I regret not taking some of them, but...
I would have sat there on their lap, but I'm single. So, you know, it's a whole different thing when you're married.
Well, plus they're both married, and I'm hanging out with them and their wives all week. Yeah. Like, really? I'm just not that girl. You got the wrong girl. Yeah, if you want me to play a bimbo, I'll play a bimbo, but I'm not... And I came up with different ways to trick them and make it harder on them. But I wasn't about to just go sit on some married guys. And I have a husband at home, too.
Yeah.
You know, all of that wrapped up.
We'll get to that next.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so your husband, who is he?
He's dead to me. No, God forbid. He's Al Ducharme. He's coming back from Hawaii tonight. He was just working a cruise around the Hawaiian Islands.
Nice.
Speaking of cruising.
Yeah, Al's very talented. I've done shows.
Al has sick talent. Focus and chutzpah, I'm not so sure. Al likes to have a good time. But he has... Al has some major, major talent. He certainly does.
Yeah. A lot of talent in that household. Is there... What's the balance, and how do you deal with that? Because, I mean, we all have egos. We're entertainers. It's all about us. So to have two people in the house that it's all about, that must be tough.
I mean, there's issues, both of us being in this crazy business, but I'm not at all competitive with him. Actually, one of the reality shows that had approached us wanted me to be a little bit competitive with him, or kind of try to put a wedge, you know, like, oh, do you think he's further along in this contest because he's a guy? And I wasn't going to go down that road. I was like, no, he's talented, and I wouldn't want to follow him on a stage. He's more talented. You know, like, I'm not going to be, no. All his success is mine. He brings in more money, it comes to me, and vice versa.
Now, do you perform together, the two of you?
Yeah, we go on the road together sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So we're either in different parts of the world, or we're together in a hotel room for like 3 weeks, like up each other's butt. But yeah, we do. And usually when we're on the road, I will feature for him. I will go up before him.
Right.
Unless it's certain colleges or a particular... unless, if I get hired to do something and they give me money in the budget for a feature,
Right.
he'll, keep the money in the house. That's how we look at it.
Right, right. And then he'll open for you.
Yeah. And I always say, don't go easy on me, blow the roof off and make it hard for me. But he always sets it up for me nice.
I like that too, raise the bar. I mean, when you're at the Comedy Store, who's who jumps in front of you? It's always somebody big. Sarah Silverman will go out in front of me, or Jim Carrey will show up, and you just, I guess you raise the bar,
Oh, yeah. I usually follow those
Bring
people with 12 minutes on, I'm sorry I'm not him. I know that this sucks. So I learned doing that a lot at the comic strip in New York, having to follow Sandler and bring up Chris Rock and Seinfeld constantly. You just develop that tough skin and look at their little faces of disappointment.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just, who is this bitch? I was just watching Seinfeld. But
Well, while we're there, some of the people you've performed with, you just named a few, some places you've performed.
Oh, God, all over the world.
Do you have a story maybe that stands out?
Oh, God, I have so many. I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, Al and I have performed in Beijing, Hong Kong, Shanghai. Never wanted to go to Asia, had no desire. And now that I've been, I love it. Like, I'm all about Asia. It's awesome. Where have I performed? I mean, Nantucket Comedy Festival and blue-collar beer halls, bowling alleys.
I sang at a bowling alley last night, my first time performing at a bowling alley.
You did? Was it karaoke or you...
No, it was a band stage, great room.
At a bowling alley?
And they do comedy there, too, I found out.
This is where is it?
That was up in, near it was Ventura. Corbin
That's
Bowl.
amazing. Madonna, I have a girlfriend who, when she was little, she was roller skating, and Madonna was singing in the roller skating rink. So you might have a Madonna-like career coming up.
There you
bowling
go.
alleys.
This could be it, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do the whole bowling alley circuit.
Why not? That's the only thing anyone can afford anymore anyway, so you might as well.
Right. There you go.
Right? What do they say? You work for the masses, you eat with the classes.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's a theory, but I think it's got some relevance.
But you're right. Things have really changed. The Comedy Store used to have the barricades outside and lines of people, 3 rooms full all the time. You go to these comedy clubs now, and you've got a huge room with 20 to 40 people if you're lucky.
Well, there's an oversaturation, and as Al has pointed out to me, because he came out of the Boston scene, and he started before me, oversaturation. Back in the day, there was no Comedy Central. Now you have comedy, or supposedly comedy, playing 24 hours a day, and you have the internet. So people have it at their fingertips. They don't feel like they have to. And there's just more clubs. There's more clubs, and
yeah, you don't have to get in your car, drive there, spend money to park it, spend money to get in.
Yeah, yeah. But there really is nothing like seeing it live. Like, really good comedy live is an amazing thing. And
yeah, it has to be
I
live.
hope people will continue to make the effort. Because sometimes you'll be in the middle of nowhere and someone's like 50 years old and they'll say, I've never been to a comedy show and this is amazing. And I let them know not all of them are. Some of them are pretty damn bad. But there's nothing like being in the room with a real artist. Like, it just blows you away.
Yeah.
Some of the greats,
You get a euphoric feeling. I love a good show.
Yeah, it unites the entire crowd. Like, you'll see a mix of all different types of people across the boards, all united in one...
Laughing together.
Yeah, having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think comedy could solve a lot of our world issues and problems. People need to laugh more.
Oh, big time.
People are too uptight.
It's funny.
Society now.
2 days after 9/11 in Manhattan, for the first time in many, many years, I wasn't interested in comedy. I was like, who gives a shit? The world's ending. And I was called in, was it to host the comic strip? I think yeah. And I'm thinking, who the hell is going to go to, I don't want to go. It was depressed. It was weird. Everybody's walking around New York because there's no way to get around. And long story short, I showed up. It was 2 days after 9/11, and the club was packed. Packed. Because think about it. New Yorkers, we were all hanging out. People needed to come out and get together and have a drink and just, bond. And you just had to walk on stage and be like, hey, how are ya? Eruptions of laughter. People just wanted to laugh so desperately.
Yeah.
And of course we laughed at the situation we were in. Like, tastefully or whatever, just like, this is fucked up, what's going on? And every comedian would come in like, oh, the club is full. Yeah, you know what I mean? It was just very weird. And I did realize exactly what you're saying. You know, people will say it's cliched, but you really do need, that stuff gets you through in the hard times.
Yeah. Part of the healing process, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. When did you get bit by the bug? When did it all start for you, the comedy?
This sounds kooky, but I was doing a play where I played an insane, crazy character. And this manager's assistant at the time came to see me. And he said, oh, you were great, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, handle me. Send me on auditions. You know, I need an agent, and da-da-da-da. And he said, oh, it doesn't work that way with us. We only handle, like, really, really big superstars and da-da-da-da. And we package shows and stuff. And you should do stand-up. You're very funny, and your timing is there, and your improv. And it never occurred to me. So he took me to Luna Lounge downtown, and he introduced me to some people and said, you should start working out here, and I really think someone like you should do comedy. And it's funny because I'm always ragging on industry people, but I did one open mic, and I got the bug, and I never stopped, because you don't have to sit around waiting for someone to cast you in something. You just get out there every night and you do it somehow. Mm-hmm. And it's a great challenge, and it's a lot of work, but you get all the glory or you get all the blame, too. Mm-hmm. It's not like I was always a puppet in somebody else's play or independent film, and now I could do my own thing. So I do like to rag on industry people like a little know-it-all, but that one industry guy was right. And it kind of amazes me that I didn't go into stand-up comedy on my own before he suggested it. Because looking back, I remember watching the comedians on late night TV, and I always loved them. I loved them, even if I didn't understand them. Even as a little tiny kid, I was mesmerized by them, and I would stare at them, and half their jokes went right over my head. So I don't know. Is it because I'm a female or something? I don't think so. It just didn't occur to me that that was an option.
Right.
But yeah, one open mic and I was gone.
Yeah, same here. I've been an actor since I'm 5 and on live stage, so you'd think I would have been doing the comedy. And I tried it a little bit like 20 years ago. A couple open mics, dragged there by some buddies who were actor comics. And I was like, I don't know if this is for me. Wrote a load of material, never did it. And here I am years later, and Johnny Cardinelli kind of gave me a little bit extra shove. I was hosting a lot of shows, and he said, man, you're really funny. You need to do comedy. And so I just got out there
and there you go.
Put an act together.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm like, why didn't I do this before?
Yeah.
Brings a lot more validity. I'm sharper. You find yourself a lot sharper. Because I used to go, I'm from Lee Strasberg, so I'd go back. It's like a spa for actors. I'd go back and work on things. I feel sharper now than when I'm in the theater full time. The comedy just makes me really sharp with my acting.
I get, sure. Yeah, well, because, you know, it's funny. I think as an actor, I think it helped with auditions, too, because as an actor, you're always... You want to be, I guess, organic, right? And you want to, it's about the other person, and you want to feed off of them. Well, what do you do if the other person, who's leading the ship?
Did you just use that word, though?
Organic? I know. Do you want to slap me now or later? Spit at me. It's disgusting.
I was talking about this with somebody recently, and he said, if you say the word organic, if anybody says that, what's this organic on set? Organic.
And I always usually do a disclaimer before I say it, but I forgot to just now. But it is true, like, as a comedian, you're used to, if you don't steer the ship, nobody else is going to. That's why I think comedians tend to either be amazing actors or the very worst. There's no in between. Because if you can steer that ship and get the thing going while actually connecting and not letting it be all about you, because some of them it can only be all about them.
Right.
Which I don't see that being great in an acting situation.
And that's where it fails for them.
Yeah. I don't think they can even understand. To me, the actors that are the most amazing, and it really does become all about them, are the ones where it's never about them. Like, I could watch Dennis Hopper or Willem Dafoe or those guys. They are so amazing and intriguing to me, because they could be in the shittiest movie possible, surrounded by the shittiest actors, but whatever it is they're talking about, they are so interested in it.
Yeah.
That they're mesmerizing, and in it not being about them, it becomes completely about them, and they're the only ones you can look at on the screen when they're in a mediocre piece. But I think it's hard for comedians who are so used to having to run the ship to let that go and get that in their head. They'd almost feel like it's like letting the heckler get take away the show.
Right.
Whereas you got to have some balls and and see the give and take in that situation. God, I'm sounding pretentious, but you know what I mean.
So you named some great actors. So maybe we should talk about who inspires you, or your favorite entertainers, comics, actors, directors, whoever inspires you, people you want to work with.
Oh, okay. Who inspires me? Well, certain people really inspire. I love people who love what they do, but like I just said, Willem Dafoe, Dennis Hopper was great. He passed
actor,
away.
yes.
He left us.
Yes.
And I just, oh my God.
You're naming method actors too, all my favorites from Strasbourg and the Actors Studio. Richard Dreyfuss is great, Al Pacino, all those kinds of method actors.
Like amazing. And Jessica Lange recently, we just started watching American Horror Story. And I don't know if you've watched that.
No.
I always thought she was amazing, and as a kid working in New York City, I used to wait tables, and I would wait on her, and she was so, so nice and kind and wonderful and beautiful and talented. Watch American Horror Story, watch both seasons, and forget it. I'm floored at her talent. The way that she started that career with such a bang, and she played Frances Farmer and was so amazing, and now at this age, she's doing this. Like, forget it. She's done it all. She's there. So I love her. For comedians, people ask me a lot, and I've always really, really loved Chris Rock. Maybe watching him fine-tune and work so much in New York. And there's so many great comedians that have been around, but there's something about his passion that really just floors me. It's a combination of, I enjoy watching Seinfeld because he's technically proficient, but he doesn't move me the way that someone like a Chris Rock does. I love Louis C.K. too, because who the hell doesn't? I've always loved his confidence, even back in the day at the comic strip and the other clubs around the city. But something about Chris Rock and watching him live, he moves me a lot. So that's what really gets me going.
Now you're naming male comics.
Yes. Isn't that awful? Because I hate women. Women are... No, I'm kidding.
Do you? Because
no,
here's what brings me to this. You've done my Rat Pack shows.
Yeah.
And their headliner shows. Yeah. All the best of the best. And we're in the green room. And I'm not going to mention names, of course. And of course it was a male. But he said... Because we were doing the Dirty Diva show. And he said, how are you going to do a show that's going to be funny with all females? Women aren't funny.
Oh, yeah. I hear that all... whatever.
I was like, what? I find... And I'm a male... that most of my favorites are female comics. I'm kind of the opposite.
Who are some of your I love Ellen DeGeneres. It's not my
fantastic
style, and the fact that she can be so brutally great and so clean, like, blows me away. She is so bam, ma'am. She is it. But who are some of your...
She's great.
I should have mentioned her, too. It's just something about the visceral... and the intelligence and the technical proficiency of Chris Rock. It's that combo. But I guess the visceral ones are the ones that really get me. Whereas Seinfeld and all them, or George Wallace, he just opens his mouth and it's hysterical. But there's a certain something that rings true to me in comedy that certain people affect me more than others. But sorry, I interrupted. So who are your favorite females?
Bernadette Pauley.
Yeah, me too. Me too. She's amazing. Can't be touched.
Now, how about black comedy? Because I find black comedy hilarious. I think black comedy is sometimes funnier than any white people I've ever heard on stage. But because I love Chappelle, I love Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chappelle just blows me away on another level. And a few times down the Boston, in New York City, I'd watched him late night, and I just caught him when he was playing around or smoking some pot or whatever, and he was decent, and I was like, oh, what's the big deal? But then, wow, when you see him, Chappelle really, really inspires me. This is going to sound ridiculous and pretentious too. I don't look at it as black comedy or female because there are a lot of quote-unquote black acts or quote-unquote female acts that I don't even want to watch it, and I leave the room. Right. Or anyone who's the this. When I see people relying on that bullshit, like, white people talk like this, black people talk like that, like, I don't have time. Or the girl, I see a lot of females now that are being encouraged by industry to be filthy for the sake of being filthy. Right. And once you go down that road of just, I don't know, playing the part, it just bores the shit out of me, and I don't want to hear it. Yeah. But there's plenty of women who are naturally fucking filthy that I just love, that really are. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or a lot of black comics. I adore Mike Britt. He's so good out of New York. I mean, if you don't know him, you gotta look him up and check out his specials. And he really, you know, he does a lot of like whatever, a lot of shit about selling crack on corners and da-da-da. But it's truthful, it's real, it's legitimate, and he's amazing. Or Donnell Rawlings. I adore him. And, you know, he goes down the, I guess you'd say the black road or whatever, and he'll have certain filthy or what would be classified as urban jokes, but they're truthful and they're real and they're extremely, extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Did I just meander too much?
No, not at all. Matter of fact, I was going to mention I work with Roger Rod, who's white, but he's a black comedy comic, and he gets a really bad rap. I was somewhere with him doing a benefit, and some guy got up on the stage and went towards him, and I guess it figures Tattoo was the I was the bouncer. I grabbed the guy before I don't know what he was going to do to Roger, and he wasn't bashing white people. And people sometimes misinterpret, and he was like, white hater, you know?
Oh, that's hysterical.
People just love to compartmentalize.
Yeah.
You know, and, yeah, I'm more, I pick on everybody and myself, so I leave no stone unturned, so.
Yeah.
I bother everybody equally.
Yeah. For me personally, and this is so cliche too, but anybody who's somewhat truthful on stage and has the skills, I respect and I watch. There have been, you know, I think Nick DiPaolo is one of the greatest comedians too, and you know, he occasionally rides that line and he's got some shit to say about women, and as a woman sometimes I'm like, oh, that's brutal, but as a comedian I've got to watch it and how he can get usually a bunch of people who he might be slamming to listen and laugh. Not in a base, stupid, easy way either. He does it in a very intelligent... He's speaking his truth. What, you know.
Yeah.
But that's a fine line, too. There's the fine line between someone speaking the truth, because I'm tired of people saying they're just keeping it real when they're really just rabble-rousing and doing hate speech. There's a difference.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But you can tell.
I like a good weaver.
Yeah.
You know, one night that I did a show with Roger, my crowd got up and walked out, part of my fan base. And so he apologized when I told him what a great show at the end of the night. And I said, what are you apologizing for? Maybe it's the actor or the film guy in me, but it's all about taking people somewhere and the roller coaster ride. So I just love when somebody like that can just bring everybody in, take them all the way up to the top, and then just drop them out, 50% of the crowd. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
it's like a game. It's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. I don't do that. I don't have that down yet, but I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, you can watch someone really good play with the crowd. Bring them in, almost lose them, bring them in, almost lose. You know what I mean? Like watch it go in and out like 7 times in an hour set, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certain skill. A lot of people don't have it.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me?
Bernadette Pauley. Where are we going to see you? What are you doing? What do you want to do?
So I'm currently, like I said, me and my production company out in New York, we are talking to a few networks, and I don't want to get into what the project is.
Okay.
But it would be great if it got off the ground. I'm kind of excited about it. We're having a good time. I like that. Let's see. Next week I'll be in Atlantic City all week. And in August, Al and I are going to do like a mini East Coast tour. And let's see, we're going to be in North Carolina, Virginia, and I'm sure we'll do Boston, New York, and New England as well. So we're going to probably do the East Coast throughout all of August.
Great.
And bring the dog. That'll be a good time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, moving and shaking.
So is the dog the only kid around, or what?
Yes, he is my child.
That's your child?
Yes, he is.
What's the dog's name?
Buddy.
What kind of dog?
He's a Chihuahua mix.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a little mutt, homeless mutt from New York City, so we made him an LA dog.
Great.
He's living the life. La Dolce Vita.
Spoiled.
Ridiculously, like I got dirty looks today leaving here. First of all, there was no sun, because he likes the sun on the porch. So he was indignant. And the fact that Mommy got up early, because, you know, as a comedian, this is like the crack of dawn. Right. And dirty looks, fiendish looks. If he doesn't get a little steak in his food, ugh, he gives me the looks. He's a good boy, though. Light of my life. And Al's okay, too. Yeah.
And how's Al right now? What's Al up to?
Al has been in Hawaii. I'm picking him up tonight.
Cruise.
Then we're going to work on some video shorts and stuff too. If you want to go to alducharme.com or my website, lowclassblonde.com. We're always posting new and different things and updating our calendar and letting people know where we're going to be or the radio we're doing. And, we keep people informed. But he's got a couple of shorts. He's coming out with a new DVD. His last DVD was produced by National Lampoon, and we don't really like it.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of manipulated a little bit. So this one, he's producing himself. And he's going to get a new CD going out on iTunes. He's already got his Man-Child on iTunes, and I've still got to get my stuff on iTunes. I'm such an idiot. I just haven't. All these other people keep saying, I'll do it for you, but they want to cut. And I'm like, no, I'll do it myself. And I just never did it. So I'm doing it now with some new people that Al's working with.
Great.
Yeah, taking control, as we were saying.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, well, will you come back and we take a boat ride next time?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
All right.
I would love to, and thank you so much for having me.
I'm going to take a salad.
I would love that.
Great.
And you know what? You can kill me. Who cares? If I'm out on the ocean on a nice boat, who gives a shit? But watch out, because you might not get rid of me. Bring Al and I out together. You'll never get rid of us. You'll have to have a court order to get rid of us.
That'll be fun. I want to work with you guys, too.
You
Don't
should.
forget me.
Yeah,
Don't forget me.
I won't.
I'll go on the road with you.
We'll take you on the road. We'll be a dog and pony show, because that's what we are. We're like dancing monkeys on the road.
I'm about the same size as your Chihuahua, so...
You're terrible.
You could fit me somewhere.
You can be our son. You can be our son.
I could use the Chihuahua as my seeing eye dog.
Well, yeah, actually, I'm thinking of getting him a little vest.
You should.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get the
We'll
paperwork.
work on that.
I'll bring him to the shows.
I like the way
People
you
love 'em.
think. I like the way you think, Tony.
All right, another check, too. Remember, we're talking about keeping the whole family working.
You gotta.
Got to get that dog working.
Everybody's gonna pull their weight. That's what I tell that dog. That's when we sell merchandise and T-shirts and stuff after the show. I say, if you want this dog to eat, you'll buy this DVD.
Oh,
and that's
smart girl.
Yeah, but if anybody wants to follow me, it's Bernie Pauley it's at Bernie Pauley on Twitter, and it's lowclassblonde.com, and I always keep people posted on what I'm doing, what Al's doing, and when we're boating and all that good stuff.
Great. Okay, so we're going to hear more from Bernadette Pauley. Check out the websites. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. You've been live and on board with Tony Milazzo and Bernadette Pauley.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you.
This show has been produced by Tony Milazzo, Alyssa Inferna, and David Ringwald. If you'd like to be on board, check us out on Facebook at Tony Milazzo Entertainer, tweet us at Tony Milazzo Live, or snail mail us at P.O. Box 10074, Marina Del Rey, California, 90295.